if this stream is actually working. I don't know. If it is, drop it in the chat, I guess. I'll be looking down because I need to look at my phone to check if it's working. God damn it. Let me check. Hang on. Cool. Yeah. It is working. I'll give it a minute for people to fire in. Let me just update the things. Cool. Let's see. Yeah, now, wait, view out. That's not what I wanted. Cool, that's not what I wanted. Damn it. Whoops, sorry about that noise. Let me again check. Cool, I guess. Anyway, thank you for everyone which did follow me just now, because I did get a bunch of just follows from friends and family just a second ago. So thank you. You didn't get to see the alert, but thank you to all of that. I guess I should start anyway. I mean, 2 minutes. Could give it a second. I don't know. Still getting used to like the position I need to sit with this webcam, because like there's like a lot of movement in the neck, but like I usually sit like this, which makes my head look a little down, which, yeah. So, yes. Let me take a drink of water. Okay, yeah, welcome to my debut, which is a thing. If I don't know why you'd be watching this if you don't know what VTubers are, but I do know some people who might not. It's basically an introduction to the character that is me. And since I am shameless, or just say what my inspirations are, this is very inspired by other people's debut streams. I'm not very in it. I'm not very like original, but hey, let's do this. Let's have some fun. So welcome to my debut. I hope everyone has a good time and enjoys their day. So Gawain, so my name, it will be Gawain Le Fey, which, if you don't know, Le Fey is literally just means of the Fey, and if you can't tell by... Can I move my head that? Yeah, I can. If you can't tell by the ears, I'm a fairy, or an elf, or whatever you want to call it. And Gawain, well, the reason I have the name Gawain is fairly simple. It's a knight from a round table who always tried. I mean, he did try to get his head chopped off by the Green Knight, but I mean, he always tried to be chivalrous even if he failed, so kind of felt like it was fitting, because, you know, I feel like that level of at least try is a good thing to commit to. Yeah, race fairy. I'm a fairy from Avalon. So yeah, fairy from Avalon. That's what my thing is. It's like England, just as bad as England, but more crystals and weird creatures around. So yeah, if I talk about whatever England is, this is just a different realm of England. Age, I can't do the fairy maths. Like, I can't convert my age to what it would be in human stuff, so there's no point of me doing it. There's really no point of me figuring out what that would be and stuff. So, just putting a question mark. Didn't really pay attention in theoretical magic maths. It's never useful. You don't need to equate anything. Job, I'm currently studying dragon classes, which is just the study of dragons. You don't get to do anything with them, but I like dragons. And now this, I guess. Well, technically this isn't a job yet, but who knows? Might turn out to be. Hopefully, if everything goes well, I can at least make this somewhat a job. And the only language I speak is English. I would really like to speak other languages, but as I said, Avalon is just like England, so everyone just speaks English. That's like, I did learn French, but I'm terrible at it. and I would want to learn Japanese, but I might have tried to in the past, but I'm not very good at that either, so English is the only language I will be speaking for anything, really. So going on to my likes and dislikes, I like games, which is obvious. I'm doing a streaming channel, so that's kind of like one of the pre-requirements most of the time. And I like both video and tabletop RPGs, which we'll get into later of what ones I do really like, but I generally like both of them. I like them for different reasons. Like, I'm not a huge fan of multiplayer games, but I will play tabletop games which require other people, so there's different reasons I like them. There's anime, obviously. I mean, I'm filtering myself as a anime character, so obviously I'd like anime to a degree. So yeah, that's why I went with this. And I like mythology. I'm a real big fan of mythology, any mythology really. Doesn't have to be Celtic or like British Isles, which obviously is, what I know a lot about, but any mythology really. I love just all types. Reading. I'm a huge fan. I read a lot of books when I have the time, which I don't really have time, but I do enjoy reading. And I will often talk about tropes of books that I like. And rambling. I ramble a lot, which we'll get into in the more next sections, which will go over my specific interests, like in more detail. Well, I will probably ramble a lot about what I like. Mainly because that will fill the time. And my dislikes is I don't like hot drinks. I've never enjoyed drinking hot drinks in my life. They just don't taste nice to me. My bad luck in dice rolls. I suck. My dice rolls in both gotcha games and tabletop suck. I am known for making characters in my tabletop circle which are good at something, but I will fail it instantly because I suck at dice. Sorry. Yeah, my dice just suck, so I suck at any sort of luck-based thing. And procrastinating. I dislike procrastinating not because I don't do it, but because I do it too much, and these slides took me over 5 days to make, despite them being so simple. Yeah, that's me procrastinating until like the last moment. I procrastinate a lot, even though it puts me at a disadvantage, so we'll carry on with this. So the video games I like, and probably we'll see some of this on the channel. The Elder Scrolls games. I'm a huge fan of the Elder Scrolls game. I have been since Skyrim, but I do play the other ones. I'm more likely going to be playing Morrowind to begin with, because I'm too scared to put my Skyrim, to see if I can record my Skyrim game. Simply because that thing is like, what is it? Virtual equivalent being held together by duct tape. It is very unstable. This is due to years of modding with mods which I just didn't really know how to install. So my Skyrim is a Caliped, what is it called? What is it? It's gonna explode one time, and I really don't want that to be live on stream, but it's a Bethesda game, so what do you expect? I've mostly played Skyrim and Morrowind. Haven't really played Oblivion to a degree as much as the other two, which I might. I need to experience Morrowind. I need to experience Oblivion and its quest lines. I haven't done that yet, so probably do that on this channel. Probably do the Thieves Guild or the Dark Brotherhood, because that's what I enjoy most about the games. The Thief games. I'm a huge fan of stealth games, and the Thief games are just the best. If you saw the Mandalore gaming reviews on the Thief games, yeah, that's it. Surprisingly, I didn't realize that they are broken. Like, the Steam versions are, like, kind of worse until I watched those videos, so I need to update them. But yeah, the Thief games are great. My favourite is Metal Age 2, which I don't think is that big of a controversial opinion for, like, fans of Thief. So, yeah, no, Thief games are great. I like the second game. It's super fun, and probably do that. But I don't know. It depends on how much time I have, because if you play the Thief level, they can take hours to get through. Especially if you're doing it on like a higher difficulty where you need like more gold. And I've wasted several hours on one mission. Like, I spent an afternoon doing the bank mission in Metal Age, and it was a fun afternoon. It was like summer, so my computer was dying. But it was a fun day, and it was fun to get through that mission. Dishonored, same kind of reasons as the Thief games, being that they're both stealth games, and Dishonored kind of carries on Thief's legacy. Though I haven't played Mark of the Outsider. I have played the Dishonored tabletop, though, which is a interesting game, especially if you know Blades in the Dark exists, so you don't really need a Dishonored tabletop, but that's a different topic. Dishonored's just generally great. I usually play Ghost non-lethal, which means quick loading, and I quick load a lot, which probably why I won't play Dishonored on this channel, because I don't think it's fun to watch someone try and do something, fail, and quick load several times in a row, but that's just how I find enjoyment in Dishonored. It's a weird enjoyment, but it's an enjoyment either way. Momodora Reverie Under Moonlight. I know there's more in the Momodora franchise, but this kind of represents Momodora and like its spiritual successor, which I forget the name of right now. But if you don't know what Momodora is, it's kind of like a Metroidvania Bloodborne game, or Souls-like. It's really difficult, but it's generally a Metroidvania in a dark gothic setting. So I really enjoy that. It's a great Momodora. I think is I think I like it a bit more, mainly due to it being pixel art, not 3D graphics. But that's no disparage against 3D graphics. I just think it's more charming in Momodora. Lait, I think that's how it's pronounced, is a game I don't think many people have heard of, and is one I'm definitely going to play later. It's a JRPG, and it's made in RPG Maker by, I forget who made it, I need to look at the dev's name, but you can find it on Steam. It's one of those small RPG Maker games, and it's basically about a con man and his adopted child who's also a dragon. It sounds weird, but they're like 3 very short, sweet games, and I think they are great. I think they're very charming and sweet, and I think that I want more people to experience them. They're one of the few games where I almost got all the achievements in. I say almost. I just couldn't figure out one, so that's the reason I haven't got all of it in that. As you probably guessed, I love stealth games, and this folds into my playing of role-playing games. I often play thief characters or stealth characters if the game has a stealth system. One, this is mainly because I like sneaky snooking, but another reason is because games with bad stealth systems means the stealth system is often broken. Look at Vampire. I forgot. Yeah, no, I should have mentioned beforehand that these won't have all the games I like on them, because as I mentioned there, I forgot to put Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines on this list. That should be on this list. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, great game, good game, about vampires, based in the World of Darkness, but we'll get into World of Darkness later, because I know it's later on my tabletop list. But stealth games. Stealth systems are often broken in games which aren't designed for stealth, and that's kind of why I love them, because once you get good enough, you just kind of break the game, and that's what I like doing. But also because it gives an extra challenge, and plus you can go through a game very passive, like you don't need to kill many people if you play it stealth-wise. Also, if you choose to play stealth, this is a tip for like Skyrim specifically, you can skip most Dwemer dungeons, because Dwemer dungeons suck in Skyrim, so just play a stealth build and just get like a potion to heal yourself up when you fall off a cliff. You're good. You don't need to kill any more robotic spiders. Role-playing games, yeah, just generally goes into what I enjoy. I mainly enjoy fantasy and stories-driven games, so we'll definitely be seeing a lot of role-playing games here. I get both JRPG, which means Japanese role-playing game, some classics like Baldur's Gate, and open world like The Elder Scrolls, probably all types. Generally because I enjoy different types for different reasons. Mainly, it all comes down to different things. Like, I enjoy JRPGs because they often have a more interesting and in-depth story and characters. Classic ones just feels like I'm playing a Dungeons & Dragons game without, like, an actual friend group. So, if I need my kick of dice rolling, that's where I'll go. And Elder Scrolls games, type games give me like actual, like, I can play a character that I want without like the annoyance of dice rolls. It's a weird mix, but it's just my general opinion on role-playing games. And choose your own adventures. Well, I don't know if I'll do this on stream, mainly because it's a lot of reading, and a lot of reading will tire out my throat. But I really enjoy Choose Your Own Adventures, like Choice of Games. Choice of Games does these Choose Your Own Adventure games, and they're basically just Choose Your Own Adventure novels, but put in games, and some have more game mechanics where you need to focus on your stats and stuff. And they're generally enjoyable. I do like them. I think I might do some on stream. I don't know. It depends on how much I feel like reading that day and how long the chapters of the game are. They also have Choice of Games also has a thing called Hosted Games, which is a bunch of like amateur authors which can put their stuff up, which I think is really cool because you get to see what people who aren't actually working for like the hired for a company come out with their like engine, and it can be really interesting. Like Tokyo Wizards has a lot of things. I don't know why, like, if you ever play Tokyo Wizards, I choose the save option because I don't know why that's not like the default option, because dying in like the final chapter and having to redo the whole story again isn't fun. Like, I don't know why the developer thought that would be a case, but because especially since it's digital, like, no, in normal choose your own adventures, you can just go back to your previous decision. Like, like, I get it, I might have built the character bad, but I don't think it's that bad. Like, a save system would be grateful. These are the video games I like, and probably what you'll mostly see from me. There's, of course, other games. I have over 100 games on Steam, so if this list kept going, and I change my mind regularly on what my favorite stuff is, so there's that. And there's a lot of things that I think go into what my favorites are. But these are just a sample of video games, and like I try to get the genres I like Metroidvania, stealth, role-playing games, charming little games in the mix. Just a mix of the type of stuff that you would see from me, or like this type of stuff that I enjoy. So this isn't like a huge round-off list. And I mentioned about World of Darkness previously, so we'll go on to that. My love of tabletop games. The World of Dark, if you know tabletop games, you would know that one system is like dominating this list, which, yeah, but I will put the reason I did not put D&D. I do not have Among Us. Thank you, Papacy. I do not have Among Us. And thank you for being the first person to check if chat worked on my screen. I messed around with it, so I didn't know if it was going to work. I do not have Among Us, and I'm not good at lying, so I don't know how well that would go for me. Yeah, tabletop games. Sorry, tabletop games. If you know tabletop games, you'll notice one system dominating this list, and there is a reason I did not put D&D or Pathfinder. It's not because I don't enjoy Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder, it's just because everyone kind of knows of those. Like, if you don't know what tabletop games are, you'll be like, oh yeah, Dungeons and Dragons. So yeah, no problem. No problem, Paper. I'm just going to call Paper from now. So, yeah. That's the reason I put Dungeons and Dragons, because everyone knows what Dungeons and Dragons are, and it's not I don't enjoy it, just haven't played it enough to be like, oh yeah, it's a real staple of what I play. A staple of what I play is World of Darkness, and that might sound really edgy, but my favourite, as marked there, is Changeling the Dreaming, which kind of influenced my aesthetic. Like, it's a game where you play fairies, and has like in the modern day, and I really like it. There's a lot, like, it's hard to explain without sounding like a crazy person, but if you know what Otherkin is, it's Otherkin the game, but actually cool. That's what I'd actually describe it as. And it's a really fun game. Its most depressing aspect, being in World of Darkness, is like its themes of growing up. But it has influenced my aesthetic of this, and I really wish I could have like a stream layout like with the glass pattern border from Changeling the Dreaming, because I do love that pattern and it would fit with like the elf, the fairy type of thing. But yeah, if you enjoy mythology and like urban fantasy, Changeling the Dreaming is like the go-to game for me. Though other parts of War of Darkness I enjoy is Demon Fallen, and as you can see, I enjoy the games which White Wolf gives no attention to. I am very loved by the company which makes these games. Yeah, Demon Fallen is a game where you just play demons and trapped in human bodies. It's really fun to a degree, but the system came out near the end of like their original run, so it's not as fleshed out as other systems. And yeah, that causes some problems, but it's one of my favorite games in this line. There's also Mummy, The Resurrection, which is fun, but that's just playing good guys in World of Darkness, so if you enjoy that, that's where you'd get it from. Yeah, I've played Mage and Werewolf and Vampire and all that, all the classics of World of Darkness. The one I run the most is Werewolf, surprisingly. Mainly because Werewolf is like the easiest to run for me. And I should have mentioned this at the beginning. I am not a good GM. Well, I don't consider myself a great GM. I don't consider myself a bad GM either. I'm just not the amazing skilled at it. So I'm not very good at long form storytelling with tabletop games. So that's where my biggest weakness comes from in running games. So yeah, I find Werewolf easier because it's just like, oh, here's a scenario of how the evil worm or Pantex is screwing it up. Have fun fixing it, guys. And then I can sit back and watch my players debate for an hour on the ethics of a random spirit. That's a thing which actually happened, and I should have stepped in earlier, but I just wanted to see where the players would logically go. Going on from that, it's another storyteller game, which storyteller is the system which World of Darkness uses. Scion. Again, Scion is an urban fantasy game based on mythology. There is a pattern here. There is a huge pattern here. And it's where you play children of the gods, and as you said, as you saw in the previous section, I like reading, and the Percy Jackson books were one of the biggest influences on me. So a tabletop game where I can do the exact same thing is what I love. And I love Scion, and I've had so many good memories with Scion, and it's one of my favorite games. I love the characters. I love always making characters in Scion. I did have once a character which died first session, which I still like. I'm not annoyed by it, but I still think the GM was like, yeah, no, I that's an unfair shot, but like, it was his choice. So I'm not gonna be mad about that. But I do know why it happened. Yeah, no, it's a weird thing, but yeah, no, Scion's a great game. It's fun. I haven't played second edition. I need to. But I have played a lot of first edition, which is mainly because of the homebrew in first edition. Because there's a lot of homebrew for Scion, like a lot of new pantheons. And it gave me a memorable characters. Like, I once played two twins who were like the child of both Ishtar and Rishigal, which are Babylonian gods, which were homebrewed in. It was a fun game characters. One of them became a vampire. Going on from Scion into another storyteller game, Exalted. Exalted is one of those games where I don't see many people talking about, despite it should be up there. Like, I know why it's not as popular, because it's a fantasy world based on Asian mythology injected with a Dragon Ball Z. That's what Exalted is. It's an over-the-top setting where you're playing characters who can literally punch gods, and you're like Sun Wukong or Goku, that kind of thing. That's what you're doing. The game is designed to break around the player's awesomeness, and I understand why that isn't as popular as D&D, because it's harder to run. Like, when your character can just influence anyone around them, it gets a little headachy to run as a GM, especially because each type of Exalted has different powers and different capabilities, and it comes down to like this thing of, oh hey, what are you gonna do? But Exalted is a great game. It's a very fantasy-oriented game based in this Asia-like setting, and it's just generally one of my favorite settings and games in the time. Even though I usually play the modern age version of it, but that's mainly because it's easier to get people into an urban fantasy setting than into this weird, huge continent called Creation. Shadowrun next. Yeah, well, as I should have said with Will of Darkness, I will probably play Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines on this channel, and I will probably play the Charon games. The Charon is has a trilogy of games out there, and Charon is basically magic and cyberpunk in one setting. So you have dragons as CEOs of big megacorps, and you have dwarfs and orcs beside you, and while the system is a living hell, Charon should never be your first tabletop RPG because character creation is a hell to get through. It is a fun game. It is a very interesting and fun setting, and there are many characters which I wish I could play in Charon. OVA is again, we're going through these list by list because I have a lot to say. I love to ramble. This is what you're going to get on my usual streams, just a taste. OVA is a how do I describe a system? OVA is a system where you play an anime. It's very freeform. It's kind of like GURPS, if you know what GURPS is, but just for anime. Like any anime you want to play, you run OVA just because it's just for ease of use, and that tends to be why I think it's so good. If I want to run a mecha thing, I'll probably run OVA. If I want to run a school with superpowers, I will run OVA. Any anime, OVA is the best, just the best system for it. Now we're gonna get into a thing which I generally love, which is Homebrew. Which I'm a huge Homebrew guy. I like Homebrew. Princess of Hopeful is a World of Darkness game about magical girls, and it's amazing. And people should play it. It's an actual stable game, which is balanced, and people should play it. It's really good. I just don't know Chronicles of Darkness rules best enough to play it. Dungeons for Dragoning's 40k 7th edition is a mess of a game, and it's basically a bunch of settings thrown together from Dungeons and Dragons, World of Darkness, Warhammer 40k, and several other pieces of media. It's a game where you can play whatever you want and fight T-Rexes with guns. As you can see, I have a penchant for liking over-the-top games with freeform stuff, so that's kind of why I put this on the list, because I'm a general fan of Homebrew, and for showing different things other than Dungeons and Dragons. So we'll go on to my anime. My favourite anime next. This was actually the hardest thing to put together because my opinions on anime change from day to day, but I think I got generally what I like in anime. So my favourite anime of all time is at the top of the list, which is Zenkai's Extra Symphogear, which I'm just going to say, watch it. There's a lot of stuff I could say about Symphogear, but we'll be here forever if I do go into Symphogear. Well, I will say it's a magical little show where they sing in battle, and it's really, really, really good, and I like it, and it's my favourite, and people should watch it more. I know it's 5 seasons, and that's quite long, but I mean, people watch over 100 episodes of One Piece, so I don't think it's that big of an ask. Basically, magical girl genre. I'm really into magical girls. They're my favourite genre. I'm not sure why, to be precise, but it's my favourite genre of anime. I will generally watch most magical girl releases. I don't keep up with Precure stating that, because Precure, I don't have time to rewatch. I do have time to watch 49 episodes, but generally I do not want to keep up with a show going out through the year. I generally don't have the mental capacity to keep up with a kid's show that much. But the magical girl genre, anything from like the more more child friendly Precure to like one where they show like blood and is there blood in Yuhiana? I don't think there is, but like more like mature ones. I just like the magical girl genre. I have a lot of opinions on the magical girl genre, but generally I enjoy it. I enjoy it in all its aspects, and that's kind of again why Princess for Hopeful is on the last list. I really enjoy playing magical girls, and magical girls is one of my favorite genres. And I do need to see some classics in the genre. Like I still need to watch. I'm currently reading Sailor Moon, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's Princess Tutu. I need to watch Princess Tutu, and there's several other ones I need to watch. But yeah, I need to watch more classics of the genre. Release of Spice is a weird show which I don't think many people watch when it aired. It's a show about a group of ninja girls in a city fighting criminals, and it's just an okay show on that. But its soundtrack is what makes it. It has like a soundtrack which reminds me of Jet Set Radio, and put that across a group of action scenes, it just makes a great, interesting vibe for a show. Please Tell Me Gakko-chan is a slice of life anime where it's just generally good. I don't really know what to say. Gakko-chan is kind of about breaking stereotypes and being a slice of life show. It's generally good. Just go watch it. Each episode is like 10 minutes, so it's not like a huge time investment. Certain Scientific Railgun. I have not watched a certain Magical Index, nor any of the other parts of the series. I just watched a certain Scientific Railgun, and it's kind of a slice of life. It starts as a slice of life show with like people with mutant powers, like X-Men mutant powers. Then it goes into arcs. So generally I like the slice of life stuff more, but the arcs are fun and there's a lot of action. Generally I like the action scenes in Railgun because they're more about like figuring out what another person's power is and figuring out you can like stop them from using it. And generally has a lot of creative uses for like a single power. Like the main character has lightning powers, but she uses it to like magnetize iron sand, and she manipulates that into different objects. Mysterious Girlfriend X, that's more here for the manga, but it's a very like weird romance manga. I don't know where to start. I mean, you could start with Index. Like, I know there's, like, YouTube channels with what you should watch, but I generally just started with the first season, which is just a certain Scientific Railgun, and I think it's a certain Scientific Railgun S. Then whatever the third season's called. I can't remember right now, but you can just watch it from one to another. I think the biggest things that you'll miss out on is some dramatic irony in some states, and the Accelerator arc, but I don't think you miss much from the Accelerator arc because it's just the same arc from a different point of view. But Railgun's really fun, and I don't know, it's just a fun series show. Going back to Mysterious Girlfriend X, it's a good romance manga. It's very weird, but that's kind of just, it's generally just an interesting show and kind of sweet at the same time. It's one of the few manga where I own all the volumes for. Finally, on anime is Venus vs. Virus. This is a weird show because it's the first show that I watched which I found without recommendation from anyone. And it came out to be like probably very influential on my tastes. The manga is probably better. I say this because it's a show with 12 episodes and the ending is very rushed. So, just going on my instincts, the manga is probably more fleshed out, just from a feeling. But I think it influenced my taste a lot simply because I really like short series with weird, rushed endings. Going back to Magical Girl thing, I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who's watched Daybreak Illusion, and I do not understand the ending of that show. Like, that show is weird, and its ending is very weird. Like, I do not understand what happened, and that stays in my brain. It just stays in my brain rent-free because of that. And now I'm noticing anime missing from this list, because of course I do after I make everything. If I had to put one more anime, I would say Shiki. It's a really good horror anime about vampires. I would really love if the book got translated into English. I could read the novel, but it's a really good fiction about vampires. I do not know what the next slide is, by the way. I have forgotten. So this could be a really short debut, but I might just figure it out to talk about something else. We will see. We will see. I'm surprising myself today. It's my goals. My goals as a VTuber. Or whatever you want to call this. I have no idea what the official term for one on Twitch is, but we're figuring this out. As you can tell, and the black background behind me, this is very figure out as I go along. Watch Symphogear. Yeah, since none of you followed me when I was actually starting to stream, all my alerts are Symphogear gifts. Because I love the show that much. And it's a joke goal, but, you know, I am a Symphogear fan, and watch Symphogear is a meme among the community. So I'd be doing a disservice not to say, watch Symphogear. My actual goals as a streamer is to create a chill atmosphere for my streams. Since I ramble a lot, I don't think high octane action, very jump out my seat is worthy. Just come to my streams to hear me ramble about random things on my mind and my opinions about Japanese cartoons and novels. That's generally why you'd want to come to my streams. Just like a chill atmosphere. Unlike other VTubers which want to become 3D, I want to try and become 2D. But 1, I'm not a great artist. 2, I don't know how you rig an animation rig up. And I think you should pay your artists. It's a dumb concept, but people don't usually. So, if I can, I want to save up some money. I do know an artist that I do want to commission for a thing, but I don't know if they would do VTubers, so hurdle to get over in the future and pay them to make my 2D model and then pay someone to rig it up. That's generally my goal. Because, you know, I generally think, I like 2D generally just because it shows art style, and I really like art style. But again, can't draw that well. And can't draw digitally that well. It's worse than my paper drawings. So we went with a 3D model that I made. So yeah, I made... Talking about, what I'm using, equipment, I'm going to say quickly what I'm using, so people would know. This is a Vroid model, which is a free application on Steam that you can use, and you can make models for commercial use. And it's easy to use, but I don't know much about 3D modeling, which is why mine looks a bit placeholder, I guess. I don't know. There's a fault on this model, which I accidentally did because I don't know any thing about 3D animation, which I think is only gonna bother me every time I move my head enough for my hair to sway. Which is that little piece which sticks out and goes into the long curve, because I don't know how hair bones work. Yeah, but you live and learn. You live and learn. Maybe in the future, if you know, I break out of this social shell of never wanting to talk to anyone first. Maybe play a tabletop game with other VTubers, because I really enjoy tabletop games. The biggest problem with this is GMing, because I don't know if it's just me, but when you want to play a tabletop game but don't have any players, any GM, I always feel like you should be the one responsible for being GMing. You're bringing up the idea to a group of people which may not know the systems, and you should be the one to step up and GM. I don't know, it's the reason I find posts being oh hey, we got a group ready, but we're looking for GM is like a bit weird because like if you post that online, surely you should be one stepping up to being the GM, not just some random person you met that day. Like, I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't hate people for doing it. It's just one of those things where it's like rubs me the wrong way if you're not stepping up to being the GM for a bunch of new people. But then again, if they're new people looking for a GM because they're confused, just try GMing. I ran Vampire the Masquerade and I literally knew nothing about the system and it broke the game. But I lived and learned. I'm a much better GM now than I was, and it's a learning curve. So, you know, if that happens, that happens. I would love to play Changeling with Dreaming or like Scion with people, because then I'd play like Changeling with Dreaming, probably play a C-Day. I don't know. If it was Scion, I'd play Twafa. I don't know. I play Twafa a lot. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. My Irish sucks. But, yeah, no. If that happens, that happens. And it's generally one of, like, a goal that if I do get, like, more in contact with people. Hello, Ipt. Hello. What's up? Because, hello. Going on to streams. Why most likely to stream? No, I don't. I use Free Team. That's why I use it. It's free on Steam if you want to use it. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'll stick with what I have now. I'll figure out stuff later. I'll look into it though. No. Oh. Nah. Oh. Okay, sure thing. Elder Scrolls games. I'm more likely to do roleplay playthroughs. Again, if you can't tell, I really enjoy role-playing games and like playing characters. If I would say more in the vein of Sorcerer Dave, if you watch him on YouTube, like those style of playthroughs, because those were hugely influential on me enjoying Elder Scrolls. And this is more likely going to be one of my first streams because I'm thinking of doing Morrowind soon. So if I can get Morrowind to actually be captured, because sometimes it likes to be captured, sometimes it doesn't. Again, it's a Bethesda game, so it's a Bethesda game. We'll probably do like Oblivion and Morrowind because again, I feel more like confident in those because I do not trust Skyrim. As I said, Skyrim game modded to high hell probably breaks out the slightest immersion. Possibly some JRPGs that is like, since I made this, come into being very definitely a JRPG. I'm definitely going to be doing Blue Reflection because if you haven't been looking at what the spring anime 2020 season is bringing, there's Blue Reflection anime coming out. I don't know if it'll be good, but I do like the original Blue Reflection, so we're probably going to do a stream of that. I didn't complete the game, so I've only got to second boss, I think. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Yeah, though I think the game, like, all the graphics disappearing is a bug. I'm pretty sure that's a bug. So yeah, we'll probably do Blue Reflection. It's a magical JRPG, magical girl JRPG about like, I want to say what its themes are because, you know, guess themes could be a spoiler, but we're doing Blue Reflection. If you're gonna worry about like if that will spoil anime, from what I can tell, the anime is an original story, so that's not a thing to worry about. Stealth games, probably do stealth games, but as I said, stealth takes the time, and if I have some hours to kill, we're doing stealth. Like, probably Thief 2, maybe Dishonored. Probably Dishonored first, because Dishonored's a smaller game, like a quicker game to play. Mainly because it has powers. Like, those powers change how levels work. and whatever game I feel like. I have a lot of games on Steam, and my tastes bounce between different things. So whatever games I feel like. I don't want to be tied down to certain genres or types of games. So whatever games I feel like. God, I've got Neptunia. I need to play Neptunia. I don't know. I don't have a capture card for like 3DS. No, not 3DS. My Switch. So I don't know if Octopath is on Steam yet. It might be. I don't know. But yeah, Neptunia, Tales, whatever random JRPGs I've gathered on my Steam account through the days. I do really want like The Alchemist. I forget what it's called, but like The Alchemist JRPGs. I've only played the start of the first game, but I do generally like it. I do like Nep. Nep is good. But yeah, no, I need like JRPGs is weird because I don't like grinding, but I will play them. It's a weird dichotomy. Also, Persona, like since Persona 4 Golden's on Steam, probably do that at one time point. But I need to get better at like time management. I suck at that in real life and in the game, so I don't need a game reminding me that I'm procrastinating everything. Altairiza. I probably pronounced that wrong, but yeah, that game. Yeah, I do need to get that. Probably get on the next Steam sale, whenever that is. Don't know when that will be. But probably get on the next Steam sale. It seems interesting and seems like a type of game I'd play. I'm trying to think of like other JRPGs I have on my Steam without like opening Steam. But you'll probably do Blue Reflection first, and Le Eat, again, we'll probably try Le Eat, because I think it should be shared with more people. Probably XCOM as well as a game I would do, because I like XCOM, but I suck at it. Like, it's a common theme where it's like, I like this game genre, but I suck at it. So, that might be more entertaining, but if I did do XCOM, it won't be on Iron Man or the hardest difficulty. Because I will lose very quickly. But yeah, no. Streams next week will probably be like Elder Scrolls. Yeah, the thing is, if I did, I might get a capture card for my Switch. I don't know. Xenoblade seems cool. Xenoblade 2, see, like, I don't know, like, everything about Xenoblade. I don't know much about it. I will I don't know if you need to play 1 to get 2, because 2 seems more interesting to me. Oh, yeah. Again, I wish developers would release their stuff on Steam after like a year or two. But that's just my wish of being like, hey, let me own all my games in one area. just let me please own them in just one simple place. And not have to worry about other things. Oh, thank you. Ultelia. God, yeah, no, I have, like... I'm not very good at pronouncing things. Which is weird, like, I'm not very good at reading and pronouncing things. Which is weird that I want to do Morrowind, if you've ever, like, looked at the dungeon names in that game. Ooh. No, you can just play 2, it's pretty much a standalone. Well, like, I do know, yeah, no. We'll see. I don't know how much, like, capture cards are, so I will figure something out. It's French. Oh, that explains why I'm so terrible at it. I failed French. Well, I didn't fail French, I got, like, the grade above a failure in, like, my second school French. The exam didn't go so well. Yeah, no. You know, I'll see about doing that. You know, I don't have any. I just have my bookshelf. I don't have any like Switch games with me at the moment, aside for Hyrule Warriors. So I don't really have any Switch games on me right now. Yeah, no, we'll just do whatever I feel like. I don't know what other games I'll do. Again, I should check my Steam library. I've got over 100 games in it, so I'll probably do some roguelikes like Wizards of Legendary and Hades. I'd probably do hit Wizards of Legendary first because, I don't know, just feels more interesting to play. I do really enjoy Hades, but I haven't played Wizards of Legendary in a while, so we'll probably do that. But I think that's going over like theoretical of what I'm going to do in the future kind of things. We'll see when we get there. I think this is... Yeah, no, this is like the second to final slide. Loop Hero. I've never heard of that. Never heard of Loop Hero, Doomopedia. Yeah, we'll do streams every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Streams will be around midday. Probably, if you look at my schedule, they're set up to be around 11 to 1 o'clock. Simple reason for that is I still have, like, as you saw, if you've been here from the start, I have like, driving classes at my university. So I can't do it. So I can't have, like, I need to fit it around that schedule and different things. Plus, it's just a schedule which works for me. Might do streams later in the day, depending, but generally will be around midday. Roguelike in a literal loop to save the world. Huh. I will check that out. I will probably check that out. Also, forgot to mention, probably Metroidvanias as well. I enjoy Metroidvanias, but we'll figure that out when we get there. There's one I've got in my mind, like, eye on to buy soon, but we'll see. This is when streams will be, probably, and social media is Twitter. My Twitter is Gawain, which follow if you just want stream news and for me to randomly talk about Symphogear or anime I'm watching. That's generally what it'll be. And for people who don't catch streams, there's going to be YouTube. There's a YouTube archive called Gawain Le Fey Archive, so everyone can watch it. Gawain Le Fey Archive's more for my end, simply because I can archive all my stuff. Oh, I'll check it out then. I'll check it out after I finish this. Yeah, Gawain Le Fey Archive is mainly for me, because I don't want my videos I make to disappear into the ether after how long Twitch decides. So, it also is good if you guys ever want to go back and watch whatever I made previously. So, yeah, no, I think that's it. And I'm surprised I actually managed to fill almost an hour. See, it's my skills of rambling and going off topic. It's great. It's a great skill set to have, really. So that's all my social media and my stream schedule. Stream schedule. I can speak words actually. It should be up already on my Twitch page. I do need to add like an add-on to so it counts down so you guys are aware. But thank you for watching. Thank you for coming to my debut, everyone. It's a bit rough, I understand that, but it was. I'm glad everyone came and had a good time at least. Sucker endings, always. But thank you for coming. Thank you for the game references. I will need to look into those and check them out, especially if the game's on sale. Like, I'm very bad at keeping my pulse on Steam sales. But thank you everyone for coming, and I hope you enjoyed. I don't have any smooth way to really end this. Not really. So, again, thank you for watching. Hope you had a nice time. Thank you everyone again. Hopefully this VTube thing can work out. Thank you again. So I will see you. I'll see hopefully some of you later. Again, bye.